Hi, it's Christine. This is week 5 of preparing for the Rapture. I'd like to go to Matthew 13 today. I know I said we'd get to Matthew 22 and 24 that we were in before, and I promise we will get back there. But I keep finding things earlier in Matthew, and I kind of want to start at the beginning of the New Testament and work my way through to Revelation, stopping at points that are important in prophecy. And one of those, definitely in Matthew 22-24, is the Mount Olivet discourse. It's also included in a couple of the other Gospels, and that is what some people call the teaching of Jesus right before Passover, because they ask him, what is the sign of the end of the age? And real quickly, the reason they're asking that is because he's refusing to become king right now. At this point, they don't understand why he's not taking over, why he's not fighting the Romans, why he's hiding when people are chasing after him. But eventually they figure out, oh, this is his first coming, and he's the sacrificial lamb. And that's, the suffering servant from Isaiah this time. Well, in his second coming is when he'll come as king. And another part of this is the parable of the sower. There's actually 2 parts to it. So we'll skip through the first one pretty quickly and get to the second one because it's a little more relevant. All right. So again, we're in Matthew 13, and here we go. Hear then the parable of the sower. When anyone hears the word of the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what has been sown in his heart. This is the one on whom seed was sown beside the road. And the one on whom seed was sown on the rocky places, this is the man who hears the word and immediately receives it with joy. Yet he has no firm root in himself, but is only temporary, and when affliction or persecution arises because of the word, immediately he falls away. And the one on whom seed was sown among the thorns, this is the man who hears the word, and the worry of the world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and it becomes unfruitful. And the one on whom seed was sown on the good soil, this is the man who hears the word and understands it, who indeed bears fruit and brings forth, some 100-fold, some 60, and some 30. So that's talking about not that you can lose your salvation, but that the devil can snatch things away. The first one, I think, might be because it was on the path and the birds took it really quickly before it even took root. So it's someone who hears the word, but the devil snatches away the meaning. They don't understand. They don't accept Jesus. The next one, the rocky places, they don't have a root. So they get excited. They get saved by somebody, but they don't really do their Bible reading. They don't go into church, they don't fellowship, and if affliction or persecution arises, they fall away. They go away from Jesus. As long as they still trust in Jesus for their salvation, they still have salvation, but they just don't spend any time with him. They don't stand up for God. They don't tell others about him. And then what many of us are, I would say, is among the thorns. There are so many worries and cares in this world with our finances and our jobs and our husbands and wives and our kids and our grandparents and our parents and whoever you got to take care of, and all of the things that you have to do, and running errands and going here and there and participating in sports and trying to clean your house and trying to make money and trying to save money and trying to find time to actually rest, which is why the day of rest on the Sabbath is so important. But we get so caught up in doing other things that we don't do anything for Jesus. We don't talk about him. We don't love him. We don't go to church like we should, or we go on Sunday and then forget, and we just keep going the rest of the week. And then we're back on Sunday morning and we're like, hey God, it's me. Good to see you again. And then all week, no prayer, no Bible reading, no ministering to others, no homeless shelters, no food pantries, no witnessing to others. And finally, the good soil. That's those who go out and they are telling everyone they're on fire for God. They're so excited. At least that's what I have understood it to mean through various sermons that I've heard. All right. Here's the other part of it. He presented another parable to them, saying, "The kingdom of heaven may be compared to a man who sowed good seed in his field. But while men were sleeping, his enemy came and sowed tares also among the wheat and went away. But when the wheat sprang up and bore grain, then the tares became evident also. And the slaves of the landowner said to him, 'Sir, did you not sow good seed in your field? How then does it have tares?' And he said to them, 'An enemy has done this.' And the slaves said to him, 'Do you want us then to go and gather them up?' But he said, 'No, lest while you are gathering up the tares, you may root up the wheat with them. Allow both to grow together until the harvest. And in the time of the harvest, I will say to the reapers, first gather up the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them up, but gather the wheat into my barn.'" So that is the wheat and the tares story. The tares or weeds is obviously those who don't believe in Jesus. We're unbelievers and believers are here together, but and even in the church together. But at the end of the age, Jesus will separate out the wheat and the tares. He will separate out those who believe in him from those who don't. Those who believe will be caught up or raptured, that's what that means, with him, and the others will be left behind or end up, when they die, they go to hell. Which is why these videos are so important, because God is not willing that any should perish. It's a verse in the Bible, and it's very true. We don't want anyone to have to go to hell. It's not intended for people. It was intended for the devil and his angels who rebelled against God. But unfortunately, people rebel against God too, because we do have free will. We do have that choice. He wants us to choose to love him. And if you don't want to spend eternity with him, then you don't have to. But you got to realize every good and perfect gift comes from him. Fellowship, love, hope. These things don't exist in hell because God doesn't exist there. Not like that. So you want to be away from God. It's one of those be careful what you wish for kind of things. All right. Well, that is those two parables. Again, if you have questions, let me know. I will include the videos and books that I've been using. I'll list a few of those for your resources so that you can check into it. If you have other questions, of course, please let me know. And as always, if you comment, please do so. Certainly, debate, comment, question, whatever. But please do be kind and respectful of each other and of me. Thank you. Have a wonderful week, and I hope you guys join me next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.